Hello everyone. Today I am going to describe with you guys about all you need to know before start your investment career in cryptocurrency. So without further delaying, let's get started. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, one of the biggest challenges for investors is not getting caught up in the hype. Digital currencies have quickly risen to prominence in the portfolios of many retail and institutional investors. At the same time, analysts have continued to caution investors about the volatile nature and unpredictability of cryptocurrencies. If you have decided to invest in cryptocurrency market, it's important, same as with any other investment, to do research. Below, I'll explain what you should know before you invest. Consider, why are you investing in cryptocurrency? Perhaps the most fundamental question you should ask uh, yourself before making a cryptocurrency investment is why you are doing it. There are a myriad investment vehicles available, many of which offer greater stability and less risk than what cryptocurrency offers us. And are you interested simply because of cryptocurrency is tradiness, or there is more compelling reason for an investment in one or more specific digital tokens? Of course, different investors have various personal investment goals, and exploring the cryptocurrency space may take more sense for individuals than for others. Get a feel for the industry. First of all, I would say it's essential for investors, particularly those who are new to digital currencies, to develop a sense of how the digital currency would works uh, before investing. Take time to learn about the different currencies offered, with hundreds of uh, different coins and tokens available in the market. It's crucial to look beyond the biggest names like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. In addition, it's exigent to explore blockchain technology to get a sense of how this aspect uh, of cryptocurrency world works actually. If you have if you don't have a computer science or coding background or programming background, whatever you can say it, uh, some aspects of blockchain technology likely be a challenge for you to parse out. There are many primers on blockchain technology that are written for lay people. Once you have identified the cryptocurrency or cryptocurrencies for investment, look into how those tokens make use of blockchain technology, and whether they provide any innovations that differentiate them from the rest. By better by better understanding cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology, you will be more fully equipped to determine whether a potential investment opportunity is worthwhile. Worthwhile. Okay. Join a online community or cryptocurrency enthusiasts, because the digital currency space is a such trendy area. things tend to change and develop very quickly. Part of the reason is that a robust and very active community of digital currency investors and enthusiasts are communicating around the clock. Okay, listener, I'll say sorry that I want to have some water. Okay, don't mind. Get plugged into this community to learn about the buzz in the cryptocurrency world. Reddit has become a central hub for digital currencies enthusiasts. There are so many other online communities with active discussion going all the times. Read cryptocurrency white papers. Uh, White papers. More importantly than word of mouth, though, are the specifics of a digital currency itself. When you are considering an investment, take the time to find the protect project's white paper. Every cryptocurrency project should have one, and it should be easily accessible. If it's not, consider that a red flag. Read the white paper carefully. It should tell you everything about uh, what the developers of project intended for their work, including a time frame, a general overview, and specifics about the project. If the white paper does not contain data and specific details about the project, that is generally seen as a negative. The white paper is a development team's chance to lay out the truth, the who, what, when, and why of their project. If the white paper feels incomplete or misleading, then it might speak fundamental issues with the project itself. Timing is a key. After diligent research, you have likely developed a feel for the cryptocurrency industry and may have determined one for more projects in which you want to invest. The next step is to time your investment. You do want to know what does that mean? The digital currency world moves quickly and is known for being highly volatile. On the contrary, buying into a hot new currency before it explodes in popularity and may prompt investors to move equally quickly. In actuality, though, you're more likely to see success if you monitor the industry before making a move. Cryptocurrencies tends to follow particular price patterns. Bitcoin often leads the way among digital currencies, which tend to follow its general trajectory. What does the word trajectory mean? Let me search it on Google. What is the meaning of this word trajectory? Control C, Control V, on the Google search bar. Let's have a look. What does that mean? It means the path followed by a projectile flying or an object moving under the action of given forces. A curve of surface meaning Bengali. Meaning গতিপথ. Oh, I have already uh, read it in my higher secondary school. It was kind of parabola or something like that where I read this word trajectory. So it means basically your path of going forward. Okay. Let's start it again. News of an exchange hack, fraud, or price manipulation can send shock waves through the cryptocurrency sphere. So it's necessary to watch out what's going on in the space more broadly. Finally, you have to remember that digital currencies are highly speculative. What does that word mean? Speculative. Innate means সহজাত. Speculative means অনুমানমূলক. Okay. Speculative. Or I use M. Okay. For every overnight Bitcoin millionaire, many other investors have poured money into their virtual token realm only to see disappear. Speculative. Investing in this space means taking a risk. By doing your homework before making an investment, you help give himself the best chance of success. Now you should know the answer, the $1 million answer. What is cryptocurrency? So guys, basically cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency that is secured by cryptography, uh, which makes it nearly impossible or counterfeit or doubt spent. Double spent. Sorry for the interruption, because actually my video system is not that much enriched, so that's why sometimes I got stuck or stop myself. I need to stop myself. Okay, many cryptocurrencies are decentralized networks based on blockchain technology, a distributed ledger enforced by a disparate network of computers. A defining features of cryptocurrencies is that they are generally not issued by any central authority, rendering them theoretically immune to government interference or manipulation. Distributed ledgers. What is distributed ledgers? Many people are familiar with terms like blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, but few understand the underlying technology that drives them all. Distributed ledgers. Yes, you have chosen the right thing. So what is distributed ledgers? Distributed ledgers have caused arguably the greatest shift in the technology since the dawn of the internet. Dawn of the internet. However, this same technology has yet to coalesce into standardized form of adoption, and to make matters more challenging, still it lacks legal and regulatory clarity. It should be clarified before you invest your money and put your all your savings into it. It lacks in this video. Basically, I'm gonna examine the basics of distributed ledgers and the importance of having such expertise moving forward. Ledgers are a well understood concept in business. As I'm also a student of business background, so I have a little bit knowledge about it. A buyer makes a purchase. Let's assume a buyer makes a purchase, or a person A makes a purchase. and the buyer's bank statement records the amount paid, as well the name of the seller. At the same time, the seller's bank statement records the amount received at the name of the buyer. Some business leaders may find it hard to imagine any other way of operating. In a distributed ledger system, the ledger does not reside with a bank or any financial intermediary, and there is no master copy. Instead, every person who is the part of this of the system has a copy of the ledger. Each time a transaction is made, all copies of the ledger are updated, cementing the transaction in the system. Such transactions are visible and verifiable, making falsification and changes after the fact a near impossibility. Just for this reason, the participants can engage in direct transactions with one another in real time without any intermediaries to charge fees or cause delays. Some have called distributed ledgers disruptive, especially to intermediaries. Distributed ledgers have potential to eliminate the need for financial middlemen altogether. Which would fundamentally alter the relationship between transacting parties and democratize the financial system. Anyway, this paradigm shift also brings new concern for the businesses who are actually dependent on being the middlemen in this kind of transactions. For example, the ability to see every transaction within the system, even if you are not involved in that particular transactions, highlights the increased need to protect the identities of the system participants. Imagine knowing that every other customer of your company's bank being able to look at your corporate accounts, including your cash and hand-on spending habits. Businesses considering moving to distributed ledger technologies must also considers like users anonymity, encryption, safeguarding the system from hacking, theft, and fraud, fulfilling know your customer KYC requirements. Distributed ledgers need not to be public. If it is done by the owner of the business, it would be so awful for they would be fall in a very awful situation, and that would be ridiculous for them. They could lose their money and they could lose their credibility in front of the customers, and they would be in a terrible loss, so that's why it doesn't need to be publicized. It should be kept in private. In fact, many corporations new operate internal distributed ledger system exclusively for by employees on private internal networks. Despite these concerns, many companies feel that it is their best interest to incorporate. So they want to incorporate it and they want to make it public instead of keeping it private. So they think it would be their best interest to incorporate distributed ledgers into their future strategies. On the other hand, distributed ledgers provide a hedge of sorts against external disruption. On the other hand, distributed ledgers provide a hedge of sorts against external disruption. Those adopting the distributed ledgers technology earlier have sometimes been able to reduce their operating cost significantly, filling up enough capital to lower market prices and finance more research and development. Blockchain and beyond. Blockchain is the best known application of distributed ledger technology. Even though it was originally developed to launch Bitcoin, blockchain is so responsible for the current growth in the decentralized virtual currency market. Not all cryptocurrencies are blockchain based. Anyway, for instance, the Chinese government's central bank digital currency CB, which is often called CBDC, does not involve blockchain. Instead, the, the Chinese government plans to launch a digital form of the government fiat currency. Likewise, the Chinese government will be central authority with full authority to track and control the ledger. It was rumored that to rolled out for testing in August 2020. By late October 2020, testing of the currency was confirmed and digital counterfeits spawned. Even though cryptocurrency is arguably the most well-known application of distributed ledger technology, many other applications exist. For example, IBM operates a blockchain-based partnership that helps companies manage their supply chains. Current partners including Nokia, JetBlue, Lenovo, AV, InVev. Additionally, Estonia launched and adopted the blockchain-based ID card system for all of its citizens. It seems that the decentralized finance industry is actively seeking to disrupt major banking processes, including payments, lending, and investing at the expense of entrenched intermediaries. So, what does this word means? I'd say distributed ledger applications may vary industry by industry, but noticeable patterns are beginning to emerging in the space overall. Startups, often backed by private equity funding, are looking to roll out businesses lines and innovate that established players cannot be targeted without undercutting their own business models. On the contrary, established companies continue to have better access to cash, more employees, brand recognition, and other resources unavailable to startups, such as the legal regulatory expertise to weather any future challenges. The shifting legal and regulatory environment and its significance, it is difficult for legislation and regulation to keep up with emerging technology. In fact, many rules and guidelines are issued in reaction to have various developments in the field, such as no action, letter in finance space, For this reason, regulators are also dealing with a greater number of anticipatory challenges concerning virtual currencies than ever before. From an international standpoint, both China and Russia have banned Bitcoin use in banking and financial transactions, while Egypt, Bolivia, and many other countries have banned use of currency altogether. In the states, regulators take varying positions depending on the industry and state. On the other hand, virtually all countries have expanded the scope of their fraud, anti-money laundering, and terrorist financing laws to include distributed ledger systems. Because of this, the legal environment surrounding distributed ledger systems may be quite unfamiliar to those seeking to launch startups in the distributed ledger space. The value of expertise. Distributed ledger raise serious questions about future business operations, laws, and risks. Businesses of all sizes are making variations to ledger structure that could either be rewarded with mass adoption or obviated by regulatory action. Such ambiguity may also result in no longer more serious litigation, as well as unexpected changes to public perception of certain brands. They can raise serious questions about future business operations, laws, and risks. Every, every corporation which are making variations or changes to their ledger strategy that could either be rewarded with mass adoption or obviated by regulatory actions. Even though cryptocurrency securities fraud cases receive most of media attention, cases are being litigated in industries as diverse as consumer privacy law, tax and accounting and intellectual property. Unfortunately, only a few business models are currently designed to seamlessly absorb and respond to changes of this magnitude. Freeman Law, on the other hand, remains ready to provide its clients with the proper counsel, insight, knowledge, and experience that they need to help navigate this ever changing environment. Now, let us know about the terms permission and permissionless blockchains. Blockchain technology has garnered significant action since blockchain technology has garnered significant attention since its introduction alongside Bitcoin. In many ways, blockchain technology has since transcended cryptocurrencies. Today, blockchain is being used for far more than cryptocurrency applications, with many groups seeking to use blockchain for their types of peer-to-peer value transfers like decentralized file storage and even social media. Against this background, two fundamentally different blockchain models have emerged: permission and permissionless blockchains. This video takes a deep dive into two paradigms. Now let us know What are the types of blockchains? As we already know, blockchain is a distributed ledger which based on cryptographic protocols that allow data transmission and storage on a peer-to-peer basis. Peer-to-peer basis, which means the distributed ledger is maintained through network consensus protocol and offer notable security features. Blockchain is designed to eliminate the need for a third party intermediary with respect to the transfer of value, assets, or data between two parties. Although in nascent stages, blockchain offers significant promise, but given the diverse needs of businesses and individual users, numerous blockchain models have been already introduced to us. These blockchain networks fall under two broad categories. Number one is permissionless blockchains, as you have already discussed about it. And as the name suggests, a permissionless blockchain is type of blockchain network that allows anyone to become a part of the network and to contribute to its upkeep. In other words, a permissionless blockchain and decentralized ledger that is open to public. The vast majority of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, are powered by permissionless blockchain networks. There are key characteristics of permissionless blockchains. Permissionless blockchains are transparent because it's allowing its users to access to view all transactions in the network, because blockchain networks must incentivize users to trust the network. Transparency is necessary. It's anonymous. Why? Because most permissionless blockchains do not ask users to provide any personal information when creating an address. It is decentralized. You may ask the question why? Permissionless networks tend to be fully decentralized. This means that is no single entity can change the network protocols, shut down the network, or edit the ledger in a permissionless blockchain. The blockchain model is based on a majority consensus protocol, meaning that a change to the blockchain requires consensus among more than 50% of users. Tokens. Most permissionless blockchains allow for the use of so-called utility or monetary tokens, depending on the purpose that they serve. These tokens or digital assets are intended to incentivize users to become a part of the network. The value of the tokens can increase, may fluctuate, or you can say increase or decrease in value depending on the relevancy and the state of blockchain in the market. Now let's jump into the another type of blockchains which is called permission blockchains. So what does that mean? Permission blockchains, also known as private blockchains, definitely it will work differently than the permissionless blockchain, as we can assume it from their names. So basically it's work differently. Yeah, you have got the right forecast in your mind. There you will got a blockchain network. One needs permission to become a part of a network. The owner of the network dictates who can or cannot can't join the network. The characteristics associated with permission or private blockchain networks are set out in my further discussion. It is defined governance structures. Unlike permissionless blockchain network, permission blockchains are governed on consensus-based protocols. Decisions are made on central predefined level by number of network, varying in degree of decentralization. Permission blockchains can have varying degrees of decentralization. Permission blockchains can be partially decentralized or fully centralized. Usually, members of the blockchain decide the level of decentralization that the network should have, as well as the consensus algorithms it should deploy. Another thing is permission blockchain is non-transparent. Unlike their permissionless counterparts, permission blockchains do not have to provide transparency. They can be transparent if they choose to, but most are not intended to be. Let's talk about permission versus permissionless blockchains, their advantages and drawbacks. The key difference between permission and permissionless blockchains lies in the nodes that participate in the blockchain network. With permissionless blockchain, any user can add nodes to the network, but the only pre-authorized users can add nodes to a permissioned blockchain network. Permissionless blockchain are generally more secure, as the possibility of collusion by bad actors, basically the investors in this context, within the network is reduced. Permissionless blockchains, however, are relatively slow. They can only authenticate a limited number of transactions in a given time. Permission blockchain networks, on the other hand, tend to be more efficient. Permission blockchains, however, many may offer lessened security, means fewer security. You are going to get fewer security than whatever you might got on permission blockchain. The security of permission blockchain networks relies on the integrity, depends on the integrity, relies on the integrity of its members. If they are if someone among them are fraudulent or a cheater, that you might be fall in a big trouble. So it totally depends on the moral persuasion and the integrity of all of its members. But much like more traditional record keeping, permission blockchains are also susceptible to manipulation. In conclusion, permissionless blockchains are fully decentralized and open to all, while permission models are more centralized and more restrictive. I'm feeling some pain in my neck. So sorry for the interruption. Let's start again. So where we were, আমরা কোথায় ছিলাম? We are in the conclusion that permissionless blockchains are fully decentralized and open to all, while permissioned models are more centralized and more restrictive. The high level of decentralization on permissionless blockchains comes to at the cost of speed and scalability. Permission models tend to be faster and more scalable. Cryptocurrency holdings are showing up in the bankruptcy schedule. Bankruptcy means schedule of debtors with increasing frequency. A number of issues can arise in this context, including whether cryptocurrency is included within the meaning of property of the estate, how it should be valued, and how it should be categorized for bankruptcy process. These issues are, of course, just the tip of the iceberg. Now what should we discuss? Actually, I have got few questions from my listeners or from my subscribers. They tends to ask me this question all the time, and I'm decided to answer their questions as I'm concerned about my followers. So I always want to deliver something to them, and always want to deliver some value for them. So the number one question is cryptocurrency an asset that must be disclosed in bankruptcy? So the answer is, even though there is still very little case law on the issue of cryptocurrency, it is clearly an asset that must be disclosed. In a bankruptcy case, all property of the debtor, no matter the value, see more below on value, must be disclosed. However, the more practical issue related to disclosure is whether cryptocurrency can be discoverable by a trustee if an debtors fail to list it as an asset, because cryptocurrency can hardly be considered a common asset. Such non-disclosure could be innocent enough. Many people still don't understand that cryptocurrency is an asset requiring disclosure. This misperception must be addressed. Because the intentional failure to disclose could lead to criminal prosecution. Okay, even if cryptocurrency is properly identified as an asset on the debtor's bankruptcy schedule, challenges may rise in actually gaining control of the cryptocurrency and realizing its value. In fact, the individual in possession of the private key is effectively the controller of the cryptocurrency held in the digital wallet. For this reason, if a trustee or insolvency professional wants to realize the value of cryptocurrency in the debtor's digital wallet, the trustee or professional will lead the cooperation of the debtor to obtain the private key. To obtain the private key. Otherwise, the trustee or professional will not have sufficient control over or access to the cryptocurrency in order to realize its value. So that's all about the answer of the first question. Let's jump into the another one. Can cryptocurrency be treated as an exempt asset? What does mean by exempt asset? Exempt asset. Unfortunately, cryptocurrency does not fit nearly neatly into any bucket of exempt assets. Furthermore, the property that is exempt in bankruptcy cause varies from state to state. In some states, debtors may choose among those exemptions defined by the state law and those exemptions defined by the federal law of the United States. In Texas, for example, state law generally provides a generous exemption for debtors' homestead. In fact, the debtor is qualified for an unlimited homestead exemption under Texas state law, as long as the debtor did not recently move to the state. However, Texas state laws provides no exemption for which cryptocurrency might qualify. Exemption under federal law, however, include what is known as a wildcard exemption. The wildcard exemption allows a debtor to exempt any property that would otherwise be exempt up to defined value. Seems like you guys are really interested in learning about cryptocurrency, as you guys are still watching my videos, and many thanks for being with me. And I'm also feeling so much tired or something like that. That's why I'm taking some time gap for getting more energy or anything, energy or power to speak in front of you guys. So it's my pleasure. I'd say it's my pleasure to speak with you guys, and I always love to, and I'm pleasure to get love from you guys always. And thanks for keep supporting me and be with me for so long time. And I promise you guys, I'll try to add some value in my near future days. Okay. So where were we? We were at the exemption under the federal law. The wildcard exemption allows a debtor to exempt any property that would not otherwise be exempt up to a defined value. At the time of this writing, the defined value was 100,000, 1,325. Additionally, if a debtor does not have a homestead, the debtor can use up to 12,575 of the unused homestead exemption in Texas as part of the wildcard exemption as well. Therefore, a debtor could potentially be exempt as much as 13,900 in cryptocurrency under certain circumstances. Since exemptions rule apply separately to each debtor, a married couple could exempt as much as 27,800 in cryptocurrency under certain circumstances. Now we should move to our next question. What was our next question? How is cryptocurrency categorized? Well, I'd say cryptocurrency possesses the characteristics of various forms of assets. For starters, cryptocurrency has many characteristics akin to cash. For example, they can both be exchanged for goods or services, although there is no known country that currently recognizes cryptocurrency as legal tender. Cryptocurrency has many characteristics akin to financial securities in that is frequently traded on exchanges. However, it is not traded on formal stock exchange and it is not recognized as a financial instrument or a negotiable instrument by any government or any country or any authority. Regardless of its classification, cryptocurrency clearly has a potential value that should be disclosed. At a minimum, such cryptocurrency should be disclosed in debtors' assets schedule as an other assets. Next issue is, how is the value of cryptocurrency being determined? So one knows. I want to hear from you guys. Can anyone tell me the answer of this question? Do they have any uh, answer in their mind? And if you have the answer, please do comment in the comment section. And I'd love to have such comment from you guys, and it will definitely inspire me a lot. And oh, that's it. Okay. Perhaps the most difficult issue with respect to cryptocurrency is valuation. Even if a debtor properly lists the asset and even if it is properly categorized, the question remains as to how it should be valued. Valuation is a crucial determining how much of the cryptocurrency may be exempted. Yet, no clear market exists and values tends to fluctuate wildly. I say wildly. It can harm you in an enormous way. So be careful before investing in this, before jumping into this world. Furthermore, any trustee faced with the prospect of evaluating cryptocurrency would likely need assistance to understand the software used by the particular cryptocurrency and access to the exchange on which it is traded. It's being traded. I have to cut off my hair. It's becoming so long and nasty for me to control it. But I'm not getting enough time, you know. I have a lot of stuff to do. I have to go to my university and have to make a video, and also have to maintain my YouTube channel. So it's a hard job for me to do all the tasks at the same time. Okay, let's jump into the further part of our video. The next question is, when is a transfer of cryptocurrency deemed fraudulent? I mean, when you can encounter it, or when you can consider it as a fraudulent. Like the transfer of any other assets, transfers of cryptocurrency within 2 years of bankruptcy filing could be deemed fraudulent if the elements of fraud are satisfied. More specifically, a transfer is deemed fraudulent if a debtor voluntarily or involuntarily makes a transfer with actual intent to hinder, delay, or defraud any entity which the debtor was indebted. Similarly, a transfer is also deemed fraudulent if a debtor received less than a reasonably equivalent value in exchange for such transfer or obligation, and was also insolvent at the time of transfer. For these reasons, valuation is an important issue in determining the reasonably equivalent value of cryptocurrency. While analysts caution investors about the volatile nature and unpredictability of cryptocurrencies, some investors are willing to take the risk for the potential reward they would get from this universe. It's critical to do your research beforehand to determine if investing in cryptocurrency is right for you. So how can you learn more about cryptocurrency that I want to buy? To learn more about cryptocurrencies, join an online community or cryptocurrency investors or an enthusiast, which I have already mentioned in my earlier part of my video, such as the found on Reddit or any other social media, to see the community is discussing. Read the white paper that outlines specific details towards this project that you are thinking of. If every project might have an reasonable or accessible white paper. If it's unavailable, consider that a red flag for you. When it comes to investing in cryptocurrencies, really, one of the biggest challenges for investors is not getting caught up in their hype. Analyst continues to caution investors to volatile nature and unpredictability of it. Investing in cryptocurrencies and initial coin offerings is highly risky and speculative. And this video is not for a recommendation by me or the writer to invest in cryptocurrencies or ICOs, since each individual situation is unique. So a qualified professional should always be consulted before making any financial decisions. I make no representation or warranties as to the accuracy of timeliness of the information contained herein, as the date when this video has been recorded, the I actually owns Bitcoin and Ripple, but still I'm not gonna suggest you guys to make your investment before researching or before having a consultation with an investment expert. So I barely recommend you guys to do so before getting into your before getting your leg into this world. So it's bit higher risky than you can even think of. So welcome everyone again. Now let's jump into the question: how does Bitcoin mining works? Well, first of all, we should know what is actually Bitcoin mining. In over the past time, in over the whole video, we actually talked about what is Bitcoin and what things you need to know before start investing in Bitcoin. Now we are gonna learn about the thing what is Bitcoin mining and how should you do Bitcoin mining and what are the necessary equipments you should requirement for mining the Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. So basically, cryptocurrency mining is the process by which new cryptocurrencies are entered into circulation. Same is true for the Bitcoin. Bitcoin mining is the process by which new Bitcoins are entered into circulation. It is also the way the network confirms new transactions and is a critical component of the blockchain ledger's maintenance and development. Mining is performed using sophisticated hardware that solves an extremely complex computational math problem. The first computer to find the solution to the problem receives the next block of bitcoins and the process begins again. Cryptocurrency mining is painstaking, costly, and only sporadically rewarding. Nevertheless, mining has a magnetic appeal for many investors who are interested in cryptocurrency because the fact that miners receive rewards for their work with crypto tokens. This may be because entrepreneurial types see mining as pennies from heaven, like California gold prospectors in 1849. And if you are technologically inclined, why not to do it? You are also maybe thinking of getting into it. So it's a good idea, I'd say. The Bitcoin reward that miners receive is an incentive that motivates people to assist in the primary purpose of mining. To legitimate and monitor Bitcoin transactions, ensuring their validity, because many users all over the world share these responsibilities. Bitcoin is decentralized cryptocurrency, or one that does not rely on any central authority like a central bank or government to the oversee its regulation. Just like unlike we have Federal Reserve System in the United States, who actually controls and monitor the flows of money all over the United States and uphold the level of fiat currency over the country. So basically, there is nothing like in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency market. There is no one to monitor and regulate this. However, before you invest the time and equipment, watch this video to see whether mining is really for you. Before getting started with mining cryptocurrency, you should set yourself up with a few mining toys. When you have got everything up and running, mining becomes rather easy because everything happens automatically. The only thing left to do is pay your electric bills at the end of each month. First thing first, here's a brief to do list to get you started. Get a crypto wallet first. Make sure make sure you have a strong internet connection. Set up your high-end computer in a cool location. By cool, I literally mean low temperature and not stylish. Select the hardware to use based on the cryptocurrency you want to mine. If you want to mine solo, not though it's not really recommended one but from me, download the whole cryptocurrencies blockchain. Be prepared for many cryptos. Downloading the whole blockchain may take days or even more than the days. Get a mining software package. Join a mining pool. Make sure your expenses aren't exceeding your rewards. The mining profitability of different cryptocurrencies. Some tech junkies mine just for the heck of it. But at the end of the day, most people mine cryptos with profit in mind. Even if you fall in the former group, you may as well get reward out of your efforts. Hey, does it make sense? Mining profitability can change drastically based on cryptocurrency value, mining difficulty, electricity rates, and hardware prices at the time you are setting up your mining system. Or you can also go to the websites like CoinWords. Let me search the website in the Google and be sure before telling you guys, recommending you guys. I actually forgot the website name, so let me search in Google. I have my laptop over on my desk, but sorry, I'm not able to show you guys because I don't have an expensive camera setup. So here it is, coinwords.com, cryptocurrency mining profitability calculator. Yes, here is the website. I'll also put the link of this website in the video description. You may check it later. So here is the all cryptocurrency mining profitability results are available. You can see the currency's name and with current difficulty, estimate coins, exchange rate, exchange volume, revenue per profit, earn BTC. You can check your everything. You can also have a look how they are fluctuating or increasing, how their values or difficulty or every other thing are fluctuating day by day, or how they are increasing, decreasing. You can see overlooking everything, whatever you need to know about these stuffs. Okay, let's come on to our another section. You can, so the website name is coinwords.com. You can go to the website to see which cryptos are best to mine at a given time. As of March 2022, for example, that site indicates the most profitable cryptocurrency to mine is Verge XVG, while Bitcoin is ranked number, let me check again, Bitcoin is ranked number 3. And as you can see here, even if mining isn't profitable at this moment, your cryptos can be worth a lot in the future if the coin value surges. By mining cryptos that have low profitability at the moment, you are taking an investment risk. Okay, now let's talk about the cryptocurrency mining hardware. We just spoke over the cryptocurrency mining softwares, but I think we should know about the hardware part. So for hardware, several types of cryptocurrency may require different types of hardware for best mining results. For example, if I name some hardware such as ASICs, which stands for Application Specific Integrated Circuits, has been customized to optimize cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. But for cryptocurrencies without dedicated hardware such as Ethereum, Gcash, and Bitcoin Gold, graphics processing units GPUs are good enough to process the transactions. Where's my water bottle? Let me have some water. Actually, I got so much pain on my back, so I have to need to take some rest to further continue the video. Don't mind, guys. Okay, let's start it again. For example, hardware such as ASIC, which stands for Application Specific Integrated Circuits, has been customized to optimize cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. But for cryptocurrencies without dedicated hardware such as Ethereum, Zcash, and Bitcoin Gold, graphics processing units are good enough to process the transactions. Of course, GPUs are still slow at mining compared to mining farms. If you decide to mine Bitcoin with a GPU, for example, you may need to wait years before you can mine one Bitcoin. So that's very awful and disgusting. Anyone would never want to do that. You can get easily bored of doing that or even thinking about it. You can find who will want to mine one Bitcoin with few years. So basically what you can do is you can find GPUs at any store that sells computer hardware equipment. As mining became more difficult, crafty coders started exploiting graphics cards because those provided more hashing power, which is the rate at which you mine. The root mining software, in other words, develop mining algorithms optimized for the processing power of GPUs to mine way more quickly than central processing units. These graphics cards are faster, but they still use more electricity and generate a lot of heat. That's why miners decided to switch something called an Application Specific Integrated Circuit or ASIC. The ASIC technology has made Bitcoin mining much faster while using less power. You can search where to buy ASIC miner on your favorite search engine. But definitely I would recommend you to go with Google, or you can also search with Bing, Yahoo, or any other search engine, or even Baidu. During crypto hype, mining equipment such as ASIC becomes tremendously high priced or expensive, you can say. At the beginning of 2020, for example, they were priced over $9,000 due to high demand. That's why you must consider your return on investment before getting yourself involved in mining. Sometimes simply buying cryptocurrencies make more sense than mining them does. Okay, man. Cryptocurrency mining may take more sense to do in winter because it generates so much heat in the hardware. You may be able to reduce the cost of your electricity bill by using nature as your computer's natural cooling system, or using your computer as your home's heating system. Of course, the cost of the electricity used by mining computers far exceeds the cost of heating or cooling the house. Cryptocurrency mining software. Cryptocurrency mining software handles the actual mining process. If you are a solo miner, the software connects your machine to the blockchain to become a mining node or a miner. If you mine with a pool, see in the next session, the software connects you to the mining pool. The main job of the software is to deliver the mining hardware's work to the rest of the network and receive completed work from the other miners on the network. It also shows statistics such as speed of your miner and fan, your hash rate and temperature. Again, but maybe you are thinking, what is the hash rate here? Okay, I even don't know the meaning of hash rate. Let me search it on Google, as Google Baba is always here to help us. Well, hash rate is a measure of the computational power per second used while mining. More simply, it is it is the speed of crypto mining or cryptocurrency mining. It is the measured units of hash per second, meaning how many calculations per second can be performed. Machines with a high hash power are highly efficient and can process a lot of data in in a single second. So that was all about hash rate and the temperature. Again, you must search for the best software at the time you are ready to start. Here are some popular ones at the time of writing, at the time of recording this video actually. So sorry, I have made the mistake while speaking, as I'm not a native speaker, so please do consider myself. Pardon me for this kind of mistakes, and I really apologize for these things. Number one is CG Miner. CG Miner is one of the oldest and most popular examples of Bitcoin mining softwares. You can use it for tools like crypto miners to mine different altcoins. It supports ASICs and GPUs. ETH Number two is ETH. What is ETH? ETH is the most popular software to mine Ethereum. It supports GPU hardware such as NVIDIA and AMD. Number three is XMR Stack. XMR Stack can mine cryptocurrencies like Monero and Aeon. It supports CPU and GPU hardware. These options are just examples and not recommendations. You can go about selecting the best software by reading online reviews about their features, reputations, and ease of use. This market is evolving, and navigating your way to find the best options may take time. Personally, I rely on I rely heavily on search engine to find a number of resources. And then I compare the results to choose the one I feel most comfortable with. Cryptocurrency mining pools differently bring miners together, but luckily you don't have to get into your beach body shape to join me. Simply but simply put, a mining pool is a place where regular miners who don't have access to gigantic mining firms come together and share their resources and their whatever technologies they basically have. When you join a mining pool, you are able to find solutions for the math problems faster than going about it solo. You are rewarded in proportion to the amount of work you provide. Mining pools are cool because they smooth out rewards and make them more predictable. Without a mining pool, you receive a mining payout only if you find a block on your own. That's why I don't recommend solo mining. Your hardware's hash rate is very unlikely to be anywhere near enough to find a block on its own. So, to find a mining pool that's suitable for you, I recommend doing an online search at the time you are ready to jump in. That's because this market changes very rapidly and it's fluctuate over the time, and so do the infrastructure and the participants. Here are some features to compare when selecting the best mining pool for you. Mineable cryptocurrency. Make sure the pool is mining the cryptocurrency you have selected. Location. Some pools don't have servers in all countries. Make sure one you choose is available in your country. Shoki Badhiya Rakhi. Shoki Badhiya Rakhi. মনে করে সখী বাঁধিয়া রাখিও. Sorry, my bad. Then you should think about the reputation. The factor is an important one. Don't get into the pool with the nasty people. They can make your life very troublesome. Fees. Some pools have higher fees than others. Make sure don't prioritize fee over reputation though. Profit sharing. Different pools have different rules for profit sharing. One thing to consider is how much of your coin you need to mine before the pool pays you out. Ease of use. If you are not tech savvy, This feature can be most important to keep you in mind. A cryptocurrency mining setup example, the figure shows what my husband's mining setup looked like at the beginning of, sorry my bad, what I just said was completely wrong. So let me tell this again. The figure shows what my wife's mining setup looked like at the beginning of 2021 to mine Ethereum. Keep in mind that she already had these systems sitting in the game room, so she didn't really make much investment with mining in mind. She did invest in the hardware wallet, though too custom made. High-end gaming computers from boutique PC builders, one from Main Gear and the other from Falcon Northwest. Two NVIDIA GTX 1017 TIs in the first PC, two NVIDIA Titan X Pascals in the second PC, two Ledger Nano S hardware wallets were pulled to mine Ethereum. Make sure cryptocurrency mining is worth your time. After you all have to make sure mining is worth your time. After you have all your tools together in a place, you then need to set up and start mining. It can certainly be challenging to do so, and the dynamic of the mining community changes regularly, so you must make sure that you are up to date with recent changes and have acquired the latest tools for your mining adventure. If you are looking to mine Bitcoin, keep in mind that your profitability depends on many factors, such as your computing power, electricity cost, pool fees, and the Bitcoin's value at the time of mining. And chances are very high that you won't be profitable at all. You can check whether Bitcoin mining is going to profitable for you by using a Bitcoin mining calculator, and you can find them easily over the internet by just a click. Mining calculators take into account all the relevant costs you may be paying to mine and show if you mining a certain cryptocurrency is profitable for your situation. Simple mining calculators ask you questions about your hash rate, the pool fees, and your power usage, among others. The figure shows you a simple mining calculator powered by CryptoRevolve. Once you hit the calculate button, it shows you your gross earning per year, month, and day. By doing the mining calculation ahead of time, you may realize that mining other cryptocurrencies may make more sense. How to write it and publish a scientific manuscript in peer-reviewed journal, download full text. আমি নিজে থেকে শোতে যেতে চাই না, কথাটা শুনে উত্তরকে সংস্কৃত কপি Guys, I really apologize for the interruption, and there was some poor network connection. That's why I tell you my poor videos setup. I thought it was the video recording was stopped, but suddenly I noticed that it was going on, or it was still recording. So my bad. So sorry for the interruption again, and let's get started again. But before that, let me have some water. Why Bitcoin needs miners? Blockchain mining is a metaphor for the computational work that nodes in the network undertake in hopes of earning new tokens. In reality, miners are essentially getting paid for their work as auditors. They are doing the work of verifying the legitimacy of Bitcoin transactions. This convention is meant to keep Bitcoin users honest and was convinced by Bitcoin's founder Satoshi Nakamoto. One, by verifying transactions, miners are helping to prevent the double spending problem. Double spending is a scenario in which a Bitcoin owner illicitly spends the same Bitcoin twice with physical currency. This isn't an issue. When you had someone a $20 bill to buy a bottle of vodka, you no longer have it. So there's no danger. You could use the same $20 bill to buy lotto tickets next to. Though counterfeit cash is possible, it is not exactly the same as literally spending the same dollar twice. With digital currency, however, as many dictionary explains, there's a risk that the holder could make a copy of the digital token and send it to a merchant or another party while retaining the original. Let's say you had one legitimate $20 bill and one counterfeit of that same $20 bill. If you were to try to spend both the real bill and the fake one at the same time, someone who took the trouble of looking at the both of the bills, serial numbers would see that there were the same number, and thus one of them had to be false. What a blockchain miner does is dangerous, is analogous to that. They check transactions to make sure that the users have no illegitimately tried to spend the same Bitcoin twice. This isn't a perfect analogy. We'll explain in more detail in our further portion of the video. Only 1 megabyte of transaction data can fit into a single Bitcoin block. The 1 MB limit was set by Satoshi Nakamoto, and this has become a matter of controversy because some miners believe the block size should be increased to accommodate more data, which would effectively mean that the Bitcoin network could process the verified transaction more quickly. Now you should ask yourself a little bit funny question or weird question, I'd say. Why mine Bitcoin? So the answer is very much simple and crystal clear, that in addition to lining the pockets of miners and supporting the Bitcoin ecosystem, mining serves another vital purpose: It is the only way to release new cryptocurrency into circulation. In other words, miners are basically minting currency. For example, as of March 2022, there were just under 19 million bitcoins in circulation. Out of total 21 million, aside from the coins minted via the Genesis block, the very first block which founder Satoshi Nakamoto created, every single one of those bitcoins came into being because of miners. In the absence of miners, Bitcoin as a network would still exist and be usable, but there would never be any additional Bitcoin. However, because of the rate of the Bitcoin mined reduced over time, the final Bitcoin won't be circulated until around the year 21,040. This does not mean that transaction will cease to be verified. Miners will continue to verify transactions and will be paid fees for doing so in order to keep the integrity of Bitcoin network. To earn new Bitcoins, you need to be first miner to arrive at the right answer or closest answer to a numeric problem. This process is also known as proof of work, POW. To begin mining is to start engaging in this proof of work activity to find the answer to the puzzle. No advanced math or computation is really involved in this process. You may have heard that miners are solving difficult mathematical problems. That's true, but not because of the math itself is hard. What they are actually doing is trying to be the first miner to come up with a 64-digit hexadecimal number, a hash that is less than or equal to target hash, is basically guesswork. So it's a matter of randomness, but with the total number of possible guesses for each of these problems numbering in the trillions, it's incredibly arduous work, and the number of possible solutions, referred to as the level of mining difficulty, only increases with each miner that joins the mining network. In order to solve a problem first, miners need a lot of computing power. To mine successfully, you need to have a high hash rate, which is measured in terms gigahashes per second and terahashes per second. Seems like are you guys really enjoying or getting bored of watching my videos? I basically taking so much time to make you introduced with the whole concept, and don't want you guys to fall in a trouble for investing in cryptocurrency, and that's why I am making this video so long. So don't mind for this, and don't be rude at me for making the video too long. Okay, aside from the short-term payoff of newly minted bitcoins, being a coin miner can also give you booting power when changes are proposed in the Bitcoin network protocol. This is known as Bitcoin Improvement Protocol or BIP. In other words, miners have some degree of influence on the decision making process for matters such as forking. The more hash power you possess, the more votes you have to cast for such initiatives. How much a miner earns? It may be the most fascinating question arriving in your mind when you are even thinking of to thinking of to put your leg into this industry. Okay, you should know the answer of this question, and I think it's a very much facilitating question, or very much I'd say there is a lot of exigencies of you guys to know the answer, have a crystal clear answer of this question before you get into this world. The rewards for Bitcoin mining are reduced by half, roughly even 4 years. When Bitcoin was first mined in 2009, mining one block would earn you 50 BTC Bitcoin. In 2012, this was halved to 25 Bitcoin BTC. By 2016, this was halved again to 12.5 BTC. On May 11, 2022, the reward halved again to 6.25 BTC. Okay, I hope you have got your answer. How to build crypto mining rig? Bitcoin mining 101. I'm old enough to remember being given a couple of bitcoins when they were owed next to nothing. Needless to say, I don't have them anymore. Now with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency prices skyrocketing again, there's renewed interest in crypto mining, which is a way to accumulate cryptocurrency without having to pay for it. Let's take a look at what makes a good crypto mining rig and what hardware it takes if you want to be serious about mining. In the most basic terms, you are using a computer to solve cryptographic equations and record the data to a blockchain network. Taking this a bit deeper, miners verify the hashes of unconfirmed blocks and receive the reward for very hash rate that is verified. The process is computationally intensive, requiring state-of-the-art hardware if you are planning to making much headway with mining. Mining as it was back in the days of gold rush is not for the faint of heart. And as with all high-end systems, it's less a case of how much do you want to spend and more a case how fast do you want to spend. So what hardware do you need to mine cryptocurrency at all? And what is crypto mining rig? Okay, the rig is essentially a customized PC. It has all the common elements of a PC: CPU, motherboard, RAM, and storage, where things deviate from the norm. Deviate from the norm is when it comes to the graphics cards. It's the GPU that's doing the hard work when it comes to mining cryptocurrency, and not CPU. You are going to need a quite powerful GPU for mining, and likely you are going to be buying more than one, a lot more, I'd say. In fact, you can think of a mining rig as a relatively cheap PC with one or more high performance GPUs attached. You need to connect multiple graphics cards to a single system, which means you also need a motherboard to handle that. You will also be looking at more than one power supply you need if, if you are planning to push things to the extremes. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sitting here for so long and I'm feeling so much bored of sitting here just to make the videos for you guys. Thank me later and keep supporting me in by subscribing my channel and give a thumbs up, and also don't forget to press the bell icon, red bell icon, and the bottom left corner. So there are also some other mining specific items you'll need to make the mining rig ready for mining. Number 1, mining rig considerations. Here are a few considerations to bear. Now I'm going to reveal few considerations to bear in mind while building a mining rig. It's not going to be cheap. First of all, you need to factor power consumption in your mining equation, because that can eat into your earnings. You are using a regular PC and getting everything to work can become a game of trial and error and a lot of fiddling with drivers. Be patient. Why are graphics cards prices so astronomical? Prices are being driven by two factors: supply chain issues causing backlogs in order to prevent high demand from miners, causing even more issues. Most cards now feature LHR, light hash rate, to limit mining speeds, making them less desirable for crypto mining. The card listed below is not limited, so the price making it perfect for mining. Recommended motherboard. I will recommend you guys to go with Asus B20 B250 mining expert. Okay, let's start with the motherboard. The Asus B250 mining expert is a beast of a motherboard capable of having 19 graphics cards connected to it. That's a lot. Believe me, that's a huge number. The board isn't new. It was released in 2017, and it's finky when it comes to setting up. It needs it needs a specific amount of AMD and NVIDIA graphics cards. Asus has published recommended GPU layouts for 19, 13 and 11 card for this board, and while other layouts might work, I recommend staying with what the manufacturer suggests, as veering away from this is a recipe for a serious, not to mention expensive, headaches. Yes, prices are soaring for this motherboard. but that's part and parcel of Bitcoin mining. If you want something priced at a little more reasonably, then you could look at Monland B250C BTC mining motherboard. A lot less powerful, but a fraction of the price. And mind that ASUS recommendations running Windows 10 with this motherboard. Now let's talk about the CPU for mining Bitcoin. Recommended one is definitely Intel Core i5 65000. There is no real point in overspending on a CPU for a mining rig, since it's the GPUs that are doing the hard work. This quad core or Core i5 is perfect for this setup and works great with the motherboard chosen above. RAM. Then comes the RAM part. There I will recommend you guys to go with G Skills Aegis 16 GB 2 times 8 GB. You are not going to overspend on RAM either. The motherboard supports DDR4 24000 to 204000, and this 2 times 8 GB kit from G-Skill fits the bill. Then come the storage. SanDisk SSD plus 1 terabyte would be great for this. I'll install a couple of these 1 terabyte SSDs at under $100 each. They are perfectly for this kind of application. You could go with HDDs, but I prefer going with SSDs nowadays. Also, best external hard drives PSUs. SCG OTEP 850 watt full modular PSU. Depending on how many graphics card you have installed, you may need multiple PSUs. It's tempting to find the cheapest possible, but since they are going to be pushed hard, I recommend paying a little more. These SCG or tab PSUs are middle of the road good value, yet they offer reliable performance. The modular nature also means that you are not turning the mining into a spaghetti of wires. PSI-E riser. Now we should know about PSI-E riser. What should you buy here? For a PSI-E riser, I would like to prefer you guys FEB Smart 16x to 1x powered riser 6-pack. Even if you have built a PC in the past, I bet you have not bet into fit in PCI-E risers. This is where a Bitcoin mining rig differs from a regular PC, in that you can't have all the graphics cards directly attached to the motherboard. So these risers allow you to connect them indirectly. You are going to need one of these every card you connect, other than the card that goes into the X16 PCIe slot. This 6-pack of powered risers are great and provide stable power to your graphics card. I don't recommend using non-powered risers. I've had nothing but problems with stability using them in past in crypto mining rigs. So don't make the same mistake I have made. NVIDIA graphics card, MSI Ventus 3X GE Force RTX 3090. Oh. This is a great card, and everything you are looking for a mining rig, loads of potential for overlooking, stable and great cooling. Another nice side benefit is that it's quite an efficient card, which means lower power consumption and reduced mining costs. And unlike a lot of graphics cards nowadays, this does not feature LHR light hash rate to limit mining speeds. 24 GB 384-bit GDDR6X boost clock, 1725 MHz, one HDMI 2.1, 3x display plot, 1.4 ampere, 10,496 CUDA cores, PCI Express 4.0. So after all this discussion, let's come to a conclusion. Is mining Bitcoin profitable or worth it in 2022? What do you decide after watching my whole video? The short answer is yes. The longer answer is it's complicated. Bitcoin mining began as a well-paid hobby for early adopters who had the chance to earn 50 BTC every 10 minutes, mining from their bedrooms, successfully mining just one Bitcoin block, and holding on to it since 2010 would mean you have 455,000 worth of Bitcoin in your wallet in 2022. If you are motivated to learn and you want to get a semi-passive income of Bitcoin, then there are a few basics to get your head around before deciding if even possible for you to profit from Bitcoin mining. Mining is the backbone of all proof of work blockchains can be described with three key concepts. Number one is Bitcoin block reward. Miners are rewarded with 6.25 Bitcoins. This number will reduce to 3.125 Bitcoins after halving in 2024. The reward plus transaction fees are paid to the miner who solves the puzzle first. The process repeats approximately every 10 minutes for every mining machine on the network. The difficulty of puzzle network difficulty adjusts every 2016 blocks, 14 days, approximately 14 days, to ensure that on average one machine will solve the puzzle in 10 minutes period. Network difficulty is calculated by the amount of hash rate contributing the Bitcoin network. What is hash rate? Git hash rate is a measure of miners' computational power. In other words, the more miners and therefore computing mining Bitcoin and hoping for a reward, it's harder. The harder it becomes to solve the puzzle. It's a computational arms race where the individuals or organizations with most computing power will be able to mine the most Bitcoin. The more computational power a machine has, the more solutions and hence block rewards a miner is likely to find. Christian Mikkelsen, managing director of the Icelandic Blockchain Foundation, said Bitcoin mining is starting to resemble similar industries as money flows and people start to suit up. With increased leverage, margins are lower across the whole sector. Soon, large scale miners will be able to hedge their operations with financial tooling to lock up in profits, whilst bringing in USD denominated investment is like loans for equity. So let's come to an end. What is my final thoughts? The average home miner is unlikely to recoup most of mining hardware and electricity. Profiting on your own is highly unlikely. The situation may improve in the future once ACIC mining hardware innovation reaches the point of diminishing returns. That, that coupled with cheap, hopefully sustainable power solutions that retail customers can access in some shape or form may once again make Bitcoin mining profitable to small individual miners around the world. If small miners can be re-entered the network, it greatly increases decentralization and supports the original intentions of Satoshi Nakamoto even further. So that's all I was intended to talk in front of you guys. So thanks for watching, and thanks a million or thanks a bunch for being with me for so long time. And I really appreciate if you guys share my video and hit the like subscribe button, and also like my videos, and also put your valuable comments in my comment section. I'd love to see that. So thanks for joining me. That's all for today. Goodbye.